I'm Love Carpenter, and I want to welcome you guys to our Power Cooking Show today. How many of you guys are excited to learn how to cook a month's worth of meals at once? Woo! Okay. Well, what we're going to do today is teach you how to prepare 12 to 24 meals for your family at once. We're not cooking 12 to 24 meals today, but you're going to learn how to do that so you can go home and do this for your family. The Power Cooking Packet that I'm going to show you today, I'll email to everyone after the show, so you will have all these recipes and all the instructions for what I'm going to show you. To start with, we're going to go ahead and make some of the chicken marinades. This is a ground beef base and chicken base recipe selection. So there's lots of different recipes that make up this, but what we're actually doing today is the marinades for the chicken. And when you schedule a show, just like our host Angela has today, when you schedule this Power Cooking Show for your friends and family, I come and prepare 3 meals for your family to go in your refrigerator or your freezer for your family to eat later that week or later that month. So if you'd like to have me come be a personal chef for your family, invite your friends over and we'll do your own Power Cooking party with your friends, and you can share all this with them. So this has made my life so much easier by being able to cook ahead of time. So I do all my cooking on the weekends, and I usually only do this once a month or once every 2 months and prepare these 12 to 24 meals, and then they're done and they're ready to go. Now when you prepare these meals, today we've labeled our bags. We have our recipe name on the bag and the date. When you put these bags in your freezer, bye Courtney, when you put these bags in your freezer, they'll stay fresh in a side-by-side refrigerator freezer unit like what we have here for 3 months, because you're opening the door all the time. But in a deep freezer, these recipes would stay fresh for 6 months. So that's kind of the general guidelines that you want to use to go by. So we're going to go ahead and make the marinades, and then I'll explain to you how you actually prepare the recipe. And our host Angela today has chosen a Mexican chicken recipe to make, a barbecue chicken recipe, a Caesar chicken recipe, and I'm going to teach a parmesan chicken recipe today. So you're actually going to see 4 recipes. Typically I give my host the choice of 4 or 5 recipes and tell her just to pick 3. So typically I just do 3 at the show. In addition to that, I serve the pork tenderloin, which will be coming out of the microwave as we speak, so I will show you guys that. And this is what I actually serve at the show. Anytime you cook meat, you want to let your meat rest, so we're going to let that rest for a few minutes, and then I will open that up and show you guys that. Okay, so that's going to sit for a few minutes while we get the marinades done. So we're going to start with our Mexican chicken marinade over here. We're using our stainless steel bowls today more as just a way to kind of keep everything together and make the bag stand up. But this is one of the most popular items that my hosts choose to get free or high price off their show. I love these bowls. They have the non-skid bottom and the bottom so they don't slide across the counter whenever you're using them. You do get lids with these so you can mix things up ahead of time, put them in the fridge and keep things fresh. But I love the thumb hole because it makes it really easy to mix things up, pour things out, and the bowls themselves are very lightweight, so dishwasher safe. So I love these bowls, and there's an 8 cup, a 16 cup, and a 24 cup bowl that come in the set. We also have the mesh colanders that work with the bowls, and these come as a set of 3. So you get the small, the medium, and the large, and they nest inside the bowls. And I love these. They're dishwasher safe. They have those small holes, so like your angel hair pasta and stuff like that doesn't zip through the big holes in the colander. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our Mexican chicken. And Angela and Megan are going to work over here. And the first thing that we're going to do is open our olives with our can opener. Megan, do you know how to use the can opener? Angela, have you ever used it before? Okay. For the can opener, you actually set this on top of the can, and that bigger wheel needs to catch the can and kind of stop the can opener, and then you just start turning, okay? And it'll attach it to the can as it turns. It always goes on the top. That's right, Megan. And just start turning, it'll grab the can for you. And notice that an olive can, it has the pull-up top, and the Campbell soup cans and things like that have those. You can still open them with our can opener, which is really nice, because how many of y'all have spatulas that you have been using in cans like that, and it cuts, those sharp edges cut the can when you use the pull top. So you don't have to use the pull top. So maybe once you're around, just turn it backwards, and it releases it. And then take the little teeth, see the little, here it'll make it easier. You put the teeth on the edge of the can, and you're going to press the white button on top. That's going to pinch the teeth together. This one right here. Yeah. Try it again, sorry. Put those little teeth on the, yep. And then pull toward the other way. And you think you didn't open it, right?
Yeah, I did.
All right. But, you think it's not opening, but I'll tell y'all a little tip. If you're at a show and you're watching someone do it, if you can see these little notches in the inside here, it has already gone around. That the can opener put those notches in there. I'll pass that around so you can see. So if you can see those notches, you know it's cutting. And then there's a smooth edge here and a smooth edge down here, so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself. So I'll pass that around if you want to see that. And so we're going to drain our olives here in the colander, which these are so great to drain and do fruits and vegetables and all that. So we'll set those aside. Then in this recipe, we are going to use, my recipe with it. Okay, for the Mexican chicken, we have olives, and then we're going to add a 16-ounce jar of mild or medium salsa, whichever your family would like. So Angela, and we started with our chicken in here, and these recipes use 4 to 6 chicken breasts. So you can bag these up however your family would eat them. If your family is only going to eat, 2 to 3 chicken breasts at a time, then you can make 2 bags and get 2 recipes out of this one recipe. If you're feeding 4 to 6 people with your family, just put all the chicken breast in one recipe and the entire marinade in there. But if you would only use half this recipe, then do it in 2, and then you can just thaw out half the recipe. So we started with the chicken in there, and then Angela, if you'll add the 16-ounce jar of salsa, and then we're going to chop some onion to go with this. We need half a cup of onion. Our flexible cutting mats here, I absolutely love these. They come as a set of 3. This is the bigger set. We do have a smaller set. And they're designed so that you don't have to worry about cross-contamination when you're cooking. A lot of us have one good cutting board at home, but then if you're like cutting up raw chicken and things like that, then you kind of have a mess. And so this is designed so you can do your poultry on your yellow one, your beef on the red one, and fruits and vegetables on the green one, and you don't have to worry about cross-contamination. But these are dishwasher safe, so you wash them in the dishwasher. And they have the silicone on the bottom so they don't slide. And that you can actually feel, I'll pass this around at my shows, you can feel where it's cut up, but then you can tell where it didn't cut through. So I'll pass that around if you guys want to see that. Let me grab the screen one over here, we'll get some onion going with this. Okay, so that wedger. Anybody see the wedger we had earlier? Yep, it's over here. I thought I was done with it, but we'll just use it since we have it here. Okay, this is our veggie wedger, and it has micro-serrated blades, which are very, very, very sharp. It has a wonderful clean cut through tomatoes. You could do potatoes with this. We're going to do onions today. So you always want to start with a flat surface. So cut that off and start with a flat surface there so it's not wobbling around too much. And then it has a little tip on there that's actually going to set into your food. So we're just going to set this on top. And then, Katina, have you ever used this before? Okay, and then just use it in a little rocking motion if it's hard to get through your food. And then turn your handles sideways so it'll go all the way through. Yep, beautiful. Y'all give her a round of applause. Okay, so then we have wedges, so that's the size of potato wedges and things like that you're going to get. This is our manual food processor. And these 2 pieces here are dishwasher safe. And a little tip I learned, if you put this, you can tell I use mine all the time, it came out of the dishwasher. Put this in the dishwasher and put this on top of it, and then you don't have to worry about someone grabbing in there and cutting themselves. And this is really sharp. And the bottom blade here, notice how the bottom blade goes down. This has a very unique design. So as it turns in here, the bottom blade swoops down and picks your food up. And as we chop this, you'll see that there's no missed pieces of food. And so we're going to add a couple wedges in here. And sometimes if you add too many wedges at once, it's a little hard to get it started. So let me see if I can, sometimes I'll just add like 1 wedge and get it going and then start adding to it. Because it kind of get caught when you first start. We'll start over. Okay, so these 2 pieces are dishwasher safe. The lid is only going to get dirty right here, but it has the cranking mechanism in it, so don't put that in the dishwasher. Hold that and just put that down. Oh. Sorry, yeah, that didn't work too good. And we need half a cup of onion for this recipe. This is our small scraper. And do you like your onions chopped like that, or do you like them finer? If you like them finer, chop them. And you get it as fine as you want. And so this works perfectly inside there. It's like the perfect size for that. You like that size? Yeah. All right, perfect. Okay. So if you'll scoop some of these out into our half-cup measuring cup. And this measuring cup set, these all snap together. How many of y'all have measuring cups that you have like 1 cup back behind a cabinet somewhere and 1 in the back of a drawer somewhere, and you can never find the size that you need. So these all stick together. And I love that this has 2 measuring cups that most measuring cups don't come with. This is a 2/3 of a cup measure by itself. And this is a 3/4 of a cup measure by itself. And it goes all the way up to a cup. So I love these. Okay, so you got your half cup of onion in there. Then we're going to add some garlic, and it's our garlic press. And this is my magic trick for tonight, okay? I only have one magic trick, so you gotta watch closely, okay? Whenever you use garlic, if you're trying to get the peeling off of it, always make sure your hands smell and stuff, but when you're touching it with the peeling on it, your hands are not gonna smell. So when you put your garlic down in here, when you press this, I'll go ahead and press the clove in here, Angela. When you press this, you always want to aim it where you want it to go, because if you're aiming at your friend, she'll smell my garlic all day, because as I press this, watch, you'll see that it shoots out. So that wouldn't be real nice to do to someone. And so then you saw how much already went in there, and then we're going to use this little scraper to scrape the rest off. And then when you open this up, when you're not at a show, the skin comes out right here, and you just flick it in the trash, but at a show it doesn't ever work. So you just take that and scoop out your skin. So the magic trick is that the skin stayed inside and the garlic pressed out. Isn't that cool? And my hands don't smell like garlic. So we're going to add 2 cloves to that. So Angela, if you want to press that in there, and there's a little tool to wipe that off with. And I'll check to make sure we have everything in there. So we've got the salsa, the onion, the olives, and the garlic. Okay? So, perfect. You got everything in there. So then what I do, we're going to zip this up. And if you don't like olives, you don't put them in there. And if you like olives, put them in there. So you can adjust these to whatever your family would like to eat. Catherine about that. Okay. So now I'm just going, this is the individually frozen chicken. And I asked my host to get the individually frozen chicken breast. And she'll have a couple bags of that depending on how many chicken breasts she wants for each recipe. And then I just fill the bags before we start with however many chicken breasts she wants. And they're I tell her to buy the chicken frozen, keep it, bring it home, freeze it, keep it frozen. We're going to work with it frozen. So since they're individually frozen, you can divide it up and put it into the bag. So here we've got our Mexican chicken in there. We're going to open this a little bit to let all the air out. And when it's frozen, it's a little lumpy and stuff, but that's okay. So we're just going to press all the air out of here. And then this will go in your freezer. If you don't have a lot of freezer space, you just lay this flat, and then each one of these recipes is just going to stack on top of each other. So this is the marinade to freeze. Now to make the Mexican chicken, the hardest thing about power cooking is you have to decide the night before what you want to eat the next night. So let's decide, okay, Tan decides maybe her family wants to eat Mexican chicken tomorrow night for dinner. So tonight before she goes to bed, she needs to take the Mexican chicken out of the freezer and put it in the refrigerator. And that is the safest way to thaw your meat. So this meat will thaw overnight and the next day. And then as it thaws out, it will start to marinate in this marinade. And you're also going to cook it in this marinade. So when Tina gets home from work and she's ready to cook Mexican chicken for her family, she takes this and dumps it into her magic pot, the deep cover baker. And you can cook this in the microwave in 13 to 15 minutes, depending on how thick your chicken is. Or you can cook it in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes and heat up your house for an hour. So our magic pot makes it really easy to get dinner done really quickly. So there's so many different ways you can do this. So you've started with a Mexican chicken base, and you can serve this to your family any way that you would like to. You can make some Spanish rice and just serve it on the side with some Spanish rice. You can use our salad choppers when it gets done and shred it up, and then I do chicken tacos and put anything you like in your tacos. You could do a taco salad and do chicken instead of beef on your taco salad. My little boy likes to eat this with Fritos. We call it cheesy chicken. With Fritos and cheese and the shredded up chicken on top with the mild salsa, and he eats it up. It's called cheesy chicken. So however your family will eat it. So you've got the make ahead base. So if you will put that in the freezer for us there, Michelle. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the barbecue chicken. So for the barbecue chicken, again, start with however many chicken breasts you want. Divide that up in your bags. And for the barbecue chicken, we need 1 cup of mild salsa. These are our easy read measuring cups, so you just, if you guys will measure that out in there. And in the measuring cup set, you get 3 with them, the 1 cup, the 2 cup, and the 4 cup. So we're going to measure 1 cup of salsa, and then we're going to add 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar, which that's pre-measured. You can add the brown sugar in there, Megan, if you want to grab that brown sugar. And then we also need a cup of ketchup. You can just measure in the same measuring cup there. And then we need a teaspoon, just put a couple of dashes of Worcestershire sauce in there. Equal to about, a tablespoon. Equal to about a tablespoon, so quite a few dashes. Actually, we have some measuring spoons there, Megan. Okay. So in this we have a cup of salsa, a cup of ketchup, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. So that's going to be the marinade for the barbecue chicken. And then this will go in your freezer. Same thing, thaw that out the night ahead of time. And then I cook this, and you can shred it up and put it and make little mini barbecue chicken sandwich sliders for your family. You can serve the whole barbecue chicken, make some corn and a salad with it, however you want to serve it. So you have a barbecue chicken base that you can serve any way you want for your family. And then we're going to move over here. That can go in the refrigerator, Michelle. Then we're going to move over here to the Caesar chicken. And for the Caesar chicken, now, whoa, hold on, because this is really complicated, okay? 2 ingredients in here, okay? So let's pass our garlic press over to Tina. Okay, in the Caesar chicken, we need 2 cloves of garlic. So just put your garlic in there and squeeze that out. We're going to do that twice. And then we're going to, Tina, I'll let you do this. We're going to add a large container of Caesar dressing, or put this in there, and if you think it needs some of the other, go ahead and put some of the other in there, because those are a little bit smaller. So you just kind of, oh, it's there. And so for the Caesar chicken, while they're making our Caesar chicken up, I'll tell you how we prepare this. Okay, so the marinade goes in the freezer, thaw it out the night ahead of time. This is my favorite recipe. This is so good. Okay, there's a couple ways you can do this. So you come in from work, open your Caesar chicken, throw it in your deep covered baker, cook that in the microwave for about 13 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on how thick the chicken is, and then, or in the oven. And then while that's cooking, boil some angel hair pasta or thin spaghetti, whatever kind of pasta your family likes. And then you're going to have your extra bottle of Caesar dressing, because once that gets done cooking, then I use a fresh bottle of dressing to put a little bit of my pasta and toss that in the dressing, and then put the warm chicken breast on top and grate some Parmesan cheese on top of that and serve with a side salad. That is an incredible dinner. And how fast and easy was that? You came in, changed your clothes, put your chicken in the microwave or in the oven, and then while that was cooking, boiled a little bit of pasta. Angel hair pasta takes 3 to 4 minutes to cook. Is that not a simple, simple dinner? And then at my house, we usually have chicken left over, so then I'll do like Caesar salad the next day for lunch and use one of those chicken breasts over the Caesar salad, or you can just serve a big Caesar salad for dinner, so you can serve it either way you want. That one is my favorite. Okay, and Tina, when you get done with that, that can just go in the fridge. Y'all see how simple this is? Chicken. And now we're going to do a Parmesan chicken. So in the Parmesan chicken, all you guys have to do is add about half a jar of that salsa. And then we're going to add some Parmesan cheese to that. And then same thing, this will go in the freezer and you thaw it out and cook that and fix your Parmesan chicken. And I like to do Parmesan chicken on sandwiches, do like a hoagie with that in there, but you can fix it and breadcrumbs and however you like that. So add the cheese that we've already grated ahead of time in there. So you saw 4 recipes today, and there's also a teriyaki marinade that I include in the options for my host. And for the teriyaki marinade, it's just about as complicated as that Caesar chicken over there. For that, use a bottle of teriyaki, a tablespoon of vinegar, 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, and some onion chopped up. And that's what goes in the teriyaki marinade. You can stop it.
I already did.
Oh, it stopped. No, it's running.
Now it's running, but I went too far.
Oh,
Is it going to lose the whole thing?
It's stop it.
Okay. I already did, but I
Okay,
went
we'll
over.
stop it and we'll restart again. Okay, we're back with you at our Power Cooking Show, and to wrap things up, didn't we clean up fast? To wrap things up, I want to go over the Power Cooking recipes, all the recipes with you. This is a little Power Cooking packet that I email everyone after the show, and I do bring a copy for my host that night. But the first page here has tips for Power Cooking. So the day you do Power Cooking, if you're seriously going to do these 12 to 24 recipes, when I first got a hold of this, I invited my sister-in-law over, we got together, and we cooked like double batches for our families, and we did all of this at once. And it took us about 2.5 hours from start to finish. But we had, for my family, I had 24 recipes for my family. Because the 12 to 24 recipe comes in. There's a baker's dozen recipes that I'm getting ready to share with you in here. So if you have a family of 4 to 6, that is going to make 12 recipes for you. If you have a family of 2 or 3, so for me, my husband, and my little boy Walker, when we do this, then we get 2 recipes out of every single one. So when I make the 12 recipes, we have 24 recipes to feed my family, okay? So that's a lot of food. So it took us 2.5 hours to do this. Make sure that your dishwasher's empty, that you have a sink of sudsy water run, that your counters are cleared off. You won't go to the grocery store the day ahead of time. So this is something that, you know, you can make it really fast and easy, do it in 2 to 2.5 hours, but you want to be prepared and on top of your game when you do it. So this has a lot of tips to help you get ready. because to cook 24 meals, 12 meals, that's a lot of cooking. But this makes it really simple to do. What we have done here for you is we have come up with a grocery list. This is your grocery list for Power Cooking Day. So I tell everybody when I email this to you, you want to keep this on your computer so you have a master copy of this. That way you can have a different one to use each time that you do your Power Cooking. So when you print this off, if you're going to make all of the recipes, the baker's dozen, all of them, then go through your refrigerator, your pantry, your cabinets, and mark off what you have and what you don't have to buy at the grocery store. Then if you're going to make all of these meals, but maybe you're going to have 2 or 3 of them to feed your family this week, look those recipes up and figure out what you need to serve them. For example, if you were going to make the Caesar chicken and serve it as a Caesar salad, but you were going to keep that in your freezer for a couple weeks, you don't need the salad yet. So this is just to get them in. This is to get all your recipes in the freezer. Then not all of the recipes, but some of the recipes, there's a couple additional items you need to prepare them and feed your family with them, okay? So take this list and then the recipes you want to have all the ingredients on hand. Be sure you double check those recipes before you go. This is actually divided out in the way you shop at the grocery store, okay? So you have all your produce together, all your canned goods together, your condiments, you're already going to have a lot of that at home, your dairy is together, your pantry items like vinegar, salt and pepper, chili powder, things like that, brown sugar, and your frozen items and your meat, okay? So it makes it very simple to do this. Then your baker's dozen recipes. There's a taco soup, there's pork baby back ribs, Mexican chicken, mushroom chicken, teriyaki chicken, Caesar chicken, parmesan chicken, barbecue chicken. Those are the marinades, the things that you do like what you just saw. You make the marinade ahead and freeze it. There's a tater tot casserole. My husband, little boy, loved to eat that on my show nights. A meatloaf recipe, the taco ring, and chicken tetrazzini. Okay, so about half and half chicken and half beef. Then this is a little tip sheet that I've made up that helps you in Power Cooking Day. If you're going to do it all from start to finish, this is the order you want to do it in. If you have maybe 30 minutes on a Saturday, 30 or 40 minutes, in 30 minutes you could do the chicken marinade. So you could get all that done and do your chicken one day and then do your cooking recipes the other day, and that would take you about an hour and a half to do that the next day. If you want to do it all together, it's going to take about 2 to 2.5 hours. So if you did all this in one day, the reason I have it broken up in the order of which you want to do it, so you do your cooking items first. So you're getting your taco soup cooking and your ground beef cooking and things like that, and then you're doing your chicken marinades last while that stuff is cooling, so when you're all done you can get everything in the refrigerator before you leave. Anytime you have warm stuff, you don't want to put that in your freezer, okay? So you want to let it come down to room temperature, put it in the refrigerator, and then put it all in the freezer later that night, because you don't want to put anything warm in the freezer because it can make things spoil. So that's a little tip for that. So you saw how to do it all in the bags. The taco soup goes in the bags. Usually when we thaw out taco soup, we don't want like a huge batch of taco soup at one time, so I'll even freeze that in the smaller quart bags. So we even get more than 2 recipes. That taco soup makes a lot of soup. So we probably get 4 meals for my family out of that taco soup recipe. So just freeze it in the proportions that you want. If you do it all in one day, we have you an onion list, so you can chop all your onion, and then you know what goes in each recipe. So you don't have to keep stopping and getting everything back out to chop with. So you want to cook your chicken ahead of time for the chicken tetrazzini. Then you want to brown all of your hamburger meat next. Go ahead and cook 4 slices of bacon if you don't already have that cooked. Then work on chopping your onion. Then make your taco soup and let that start simmering. Cook the pasta for the chicken tetrazzini. Go ahead and cook your meatloaf. Make a head base for the taco ring, the chicken tetrazzini, and the tater tot casserole. Those are make-ahead cooked meat bases that go in the freezer bags. And then the last thing you do is assemble all your meat marinades, and then everything's ready for the freezer. So some of our Power Cooking tools that we use, the garlic press and our food chopper or our manual food processor. You want a good knife and the 12-inch family skillet and our deep covered baker. Pretty much if you have those things, you have the key tools to be able to get in and out of the kitchen and get this done. And then here is, Courtney made this for us. This is your complete guide to Power Cooking Day, and so I give them everybody a copy of that because it kind of gives you tips from start to finish to get everything done. So I'll pass this around and we'll email this to all of y'all. But that's all the recipes. So at the show, when guests come in, I go ahead and have the pork tenderloin done ahead of time. That cooks in our baker. To prepare the pork tenderloin, the way the baker cooks, the steam rises to the top and it can't get out, so it circulates. It bastes your meat in its own juices the entire time it cooks. So when you open this, you want to open it away from you because of all that steam trapped inside of there. So for the pork tenderloin, this is such a simple recipe to do. This is one of my husband's favorite recipes that we make. And you just slice up an onion and put in the bottom. put your piece of pork in there, brush it with a little bit of oil, canola oil or vegetable oil, and then put your seasoning on top. And pork needs to be cooked to 150 degrees when it gets done cooking. Then anytime you cook meat, you want to let it rest for 10 minutes. Whether it's your Thanksgiving turkey or your pork tenderloin, whatever, all meat, you want to let it rest for 10 minutes because it'll be a lot juicier 10 minutes later as it's rested and the juices get to evenly distribute in the meat. So, so we let that rest, and then it needs to be 160 to be safe to serve. So the temperature continues to rise as it sits for 10 minutes. And at my shows, we usually have well done pork, and we're over 170. So anyway, you can see all the juice that this makes. If y'all want to peer inside of there, you can see we didn't put any water in there. It juices itself, so it makes its own juice. So that cooked in the microwave in 10 minutes. And that's about 1.5 pounds. A 1 pound tenderloin is going to cook in the microwave in about 6 to 10 minutes. It just depends on how thick the meat is or how long and skinny it is. So I just use our meat thermometer, and that takes all the guesswork out of that.
What type of seasoning did you put on this?
We used the chipotle seasoning on this today. So you can try it with the chipotle in it and the dill mayonnaise. I use about 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, sprinkle some our Pampered Chef dill mix in there, and that makes an incredible incredible sauce to put on the sandwiches. So you've got your pork tenderloin. I slice it up, put it back in the baker to keep it warm. They can serve out of that as they're coming in, and use little rolls like the Hawaiian rolls or some type of little rolls. So you're making little pork sliders and as people come in, they just make their own sandwich. And so at my Power Cooking show, guests get to eat as they come in because I have that done ahead of time. I just get to the hostess's home and cook that as soon as I get there, and then it's cooking while I'm setting up my stations. And then the marinades that we do during the show are all going in the hostess's freezer or in their refrigerator. Any questions?